All right. I am back. And listen, I am super excited to be able to share with you this amazing story. And it's an amazing story because it's all of our stories. There's not a single one of us who have not shared this event. The event is birth, right? We're all born into this world. And when we come into this world, there are some things about this world that we all have to experience or we all have to go through. Now, here's the thing I want you to get is that when we get into this world, when we are born, we come into a world that's already ready-made. What does that mean? That means that there are rules, there are guidelines, there are norms, there are customs, there are cultures, there are things unfolding before our eyes that we don't understand because we haven't been here before or we don't remember the last time we were here. So we are born into this world and we have to get up to speed. We have to catch up with whatever is happening in the world, why things are the way that they are, why people are doing what they are doing. We have to have some sense of it. And so where do we get this sense from? Think about it. Where did you get your sense of what was right or what was wrong? What was the correct way to do things, the incorrect way to do things? Where did you get yours from? All right. So yes, you got them from your parents. For most part, we get them from our parents. We get the rules and regulations about how to live this life on earth from our parents. Essentially, what ends up happening is we end up playing the game of life in a very similar manner to our parents. And even though we say we are not going to grow up to be our father, or we're not going to grow up to be like our mother, in a lot of ways, we end up doing exactly that. I know I have. And I'm as a life coach for over 30 years, I've worked with so many people who have said they are not going to be like their mother. They're not going to be like their father, end up being almost identical in habits, patterns, and tendencies. Why? Because when we come into this world, not only do we inherit a view of the world, which comes in the form of us being told what's right, what's wrong, what's up, what's down, how you do this and how you do that. We inherit patterns, habits, and tendencies. And in the inheritance of those things we inherit those things at a particular time in our life from, as they say, 0 or 1 to the age of 7. Now, during that time, we are not conscious. In other words, we have not learned how to think for ourselves. So a whole lot of information is downloaded into our subconscious programming without us even knowing. Not only is this information downloaded into our subconscious programming in a way where we are being taught, but a great amount of it is being absorbed and downloaded through our observation. Our observation of what love is, our observation of what it means to show affection to other people or to show affection to those that are in our lives. Our observation of how you treat people, our observation of not just, like, for example, skin color, right? So children from 0 to 7, or from 1 to 7, they see color. We all see color. But what happens is there is no value attached to that color. There is no hierarchy attached to that color. It's just a color. So a kid may ask a question about, why is Johnny black? Or why is Johnny brown? Why is Johnny white? Et cetera, et cetera. That's not a question about race. That's a question about the anatomy or the makeup of another person physically. The question about race comes up when, as they get older and they begin to observe that certain people of certain hues, certain colors are treated different from others. And a certain language is being attributed to, certain language that attributes value or less value to certain skin colors. Here is where the racial construct starts to begin to develop in our subconscious mind. This would be a part of our groundwater, right? Our groundwater are the subconscious programming that we receive during the ages of 1 to 7 before we've learned how to think for ourselves. So much information is downloaded into us that later becomes constructs in our mind, that becomes habits, tendencies, and patterns that we have to work through in order to get through the firewalls that have been given to us or that we inherited from those who came before us. So not only our parents, school teachers, authority figures, what we get from the media, all of this is programming us. And a great number of us end up waking up much further down the road, maybe when we're about 30, 40, or 50, and we realize the life that we're living is not the life we wanted for ourselves. It feels foreign to us. We are not happy in that life, and we wonder why we're not happy. We may have all the things that the world told us that we were supposed to have. We got the degree, we got the cars, the nice house, may even have the beautiful spouse or whatever. And we got those things that was on the checklist. And even though after we've gotten all those things, our life is still far from happy. And something inside of us is stirring. Something inside of us is making us look for answers. And what we're looking for is, how did I make these choices? Why did I do what I did? Why did I choose the religion that I chose? Why did I choose the mate that I chose? Why did I choose the career that I chose? And then when we are not happy in those things, we begin to realize that something was afoot. And what was afoot is the subconscious programming, the groundwater. And so all of us have this groundwater, and we are fortunate. Some people are fortunate to have groundwater that runs smoothly in the direction of the life you really want to live. But the majority of us, our groundwater does not. Our groundwater ran in the opposite direction of what really makes us happy. So a great number of us get up in the morning and don't really want to go into work. A great number of us live in conflict with ourselves, where we don't see the beauty of who we are. We don't see how special we are. We don't see our creative genius. And so we live in conflict. That's the toxic groundwater we have to get to. And there's a whole bunch of toxic groundwater in relationship to what we've been socialized to believe about race. So we come into this world, we get all this downloaded, and it's not until we wake up, become conscious and able to think for ourselves, that we begin to question these things. So now this course is going to take you through a maze of questioning. And you are going to, as a result of taking this course, begin to understand much more about your life than you do right now. Stay tuned. Hold on tight. We're about to go even deeper into the journey